Hey guys, did you know that I have a Patreon where you can support me and plus get awesome rewards? Or if you're thinking to yourself, but Julian, I want even more bang for my buck while still supporting you, you can pop over to my Redbubble and check out my awesome store with new designs appearing regularly. But for now, enjoy the video you're about to watch. Hey guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke. I just got a new light brought to you by my lovely patrons over on Patreon. I'm kind of like playing with it. Oh, I forgot lipstick. I'll be right back. There we go, lipstick. So, I'm still figuring this light out, which is why I'm just filming this video today to kind of practice with the light, maybe film something you all will find entertaining. I'm going to find it entertaining anyway, but mostly it's just a practice with this light. I'm trying to figure out if there's anywhere that I can put it where it's not going to leave an obnoxious reflection on my glasses. I hate that, but I don't really know what to do about it. I don't wear contacts because I have this aversion to putting things in my eyes. So we're going to see. This video is mostly just experimenting for me to look at it when I edit it and see what I think about it, cause yeah, so, but why waste, footage when I could film a video for you all and you all can like laugh at how washed out I look. If any of you have experience with like a softbox light and you want to give me some pro tips about how you use it, please comment below and let me know. So I am a novice. Nigel, don't tip my light over. This is going to be a problem. My cats are going to be tipping that over constantly. Anyway, today I'm wearing my Scar shirt because my Slytherin shirt is in the wash and some Slytherin green lipstick because we just went to see the new Fantastic Beasts movie, The Crimes of Grindelwald, which I don't know why they pronounce it the German way, but that's okay. But I'm sure that you are already oversaturated with people's opinions of The Crimes of Grindelwald, and I'm going to try hard not to repeat too much of what I've heard from other people's videos, and this is just going to be my personal gripe fest, my personal whine fest, so if you don't agree with my points, that's fine, but like, it's just me, fam. This is just my personal thoughts, and some of them are going to be super, super personal, and you won't be able to relate to them at all. And if you are tempted to be like, Julian, you're too sensitive, stop worrying about that stuff, don't fucking bother, because I'm gonna care about what I care about. So, if you want to waste your time commenting that below, that's up to you. Anyway, The Crimes of Grindelwald, you know most of the stuff. You guys probably already know. Nigel is here. Yeah. You guys probably already know that it is a hot mess, that it is almost entirely a movie created to clumsily move the characters into position for future movies. Yeah, it is a hot mess. There are too many characters, there are too many plot lines, there is too much going on. Proof to me that J.K. Rowling is not a script writer. Like, she doesn't know how to write a screenplay. She doesn't know how to write a screenplay, and yet they're letting her do it. Here we are. I'm just gonna say it, and it's gonna get me all the hate, but I think J.K. Rowling is kind of a hack. So anyway, moving on from that, you know what you're in for with this chat today. But the very first thing that I'm going to talk about, the very first thing that I'm going to get off of my chest is Newt Scamander, which is something that is very, like, this opinion is super personal to me and probably matters not to any of the rest of you. But, okay. Newt was like one of my favorite Harry Potter characters of all time from the original Fantastic Beasts. I didn't think that movie was all that amazing. I liked it, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, new favorite movie. But I loved Newt because he was such a different protagonist from what we usually got. Not only does he read as though he might be on the autism spectrum, but he also definitely was coded asexual, aromantic, and fam, you know, if you are an asexual out there, you know that you have to grab whatever thin representation you can find because nobody is ever going to give it to you. And Newt was doing such a good job of being that representation. Think of all of those scenes where Newt is interacting with Tina, like that one on the roof where you think it might be a romantic moment, but they're like so far away from each other and Newt is not even like looking at her the entire time. And then like their goodbye scene where you expect a kiss, but instead Newt is like, okay, bye. And it was just so good and so asexual, and if you were an ace person watching that, you were like, yes, look at him. Like, she's obviously interested in him, but he is so like not picking up the clues and not interested in her. And I knew that old JK loves her some het romance. I knew that Newt's love interest was going to be more of a thing in this movie, but I was like, I had already heard that the movie was a jumbled mess, so I was like, well, maybe they won't have time and all of this nonsense to really give him like a love story, and then I will still be able to headcanon him as asexual, because there was so much to work with in the first movie, so much. And I know that there's getting to be a little teeny tiny scrap morsel of asexual representation in the world. Like there's an ace character in BoJack Horseman, people keep telling me, but I don't watch BoJack Horseman. I want ace characters in the things that I watch. And that means sometimes I have to find them any way that I can. But Newt was so good in the first movie. But I should have known better, because so much of that movie was him pining after Tina, a woman who he like barely seemed to care about as a friend in the last movie. Like he was like, oh, Tina's here, but like I don't love her. Him and Kowalski, no, that was the bromance. But now he's pining after Tina, and he kept her picture, and he rushes off to find her, and I'm just like, no! I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
So much.
Because it was real.
Plus, we've got that thing with Lita Lestrange, who obviously has latent feelings for him, and it's not clear why they aren't a couple, because now it's clear that Newt is not asexual or aromantic, so it's like, well, why aren't you a couple? Like, she clearly wants you, man. Why aren't you a couple? The movie does one of those things where, like, the girl loves the one brother, but she has to marry the other brother because the one brother won't have her, and then it does that thing where, like, you don't even understand why she's with the other brother. Why is she with Newt's brother? They don't seem like he maybe cares about her, but she doesn't give a flying fuck about him from what we see. She's all about that pining after Newt. Which is, it's like 2 more love interests than most autistic characters get. But anyway, and then there's this weird little thing with his assistant that he suddenly has, who I thought I was gonna like her at first. I was like, oh, he's got this fun little assistant, and she's gonna be quirky and help him on his way, and she'll keep an eye on the monsters, and we won't have to wonder, like, are they okay in that suitcase he drags around? But no, she also is in love with him. And that's stupid and goes absolutely nowhere. Maybe it'll be in the next movies, but why is it there? Why is it there? Is it there early so that J.K. Rowling can completely crush my dreams of no romance? I think it is. I think she targeted that for me personally. That's my feeling on that, so those are my feelings on Newt Scamander, destroyed by J.K. Rowling. Now I know it was never explicit, it was never on the page, it was never on the screen that he was asexual, but he did so well in that first movie that I hoped perhaps they would just continue to neglect his love story. They would continue to make him too awkward for a love story, and I could be happy in my aceness, but that is not the case now. He's in love with a girl who barely has a personality. I don't like Tina. I don't like Tina at all. And not only because she's a love interest for Newt, but like, why is she here? What is she doing? I barely knew why she was in the first movie, and she super doesn't have a reason to be in this one. What? Why? What? And now the other big point I want to make, which is just I've been thinking it over and like, how could we have like helped to this movie? How could we have like saved this movie from itself? And it's a Fantastic Beasts movie, and there really are not that many Fantastic Beasts in it. There's like a couple that Newt has to deal with, but they are all tangential to the story. They are not like a big part of the story. And I heard there was going to be like a dragon fight at the end, but then it turned out to just be fire dragons, and I thought, well, surely, you know, if there's a dragon, Newt will have to fight it, and maybe he'll be devastated if they have to kill it or something, but no, it was fire dragons, and he just used, you know, pow magic to contain it. Very disappointing. So, my theory for how to save this movie is to make it a Fantastic Beasts movie, and make Newt, the guy who handles Fantastic Beasts, the main character again. Because otherwise, like, why is it Fantastic Beasts and why is Newt here? So one of the big things is, like, Dumbledore can't move against Grindelwald because, you know, it's because he made this blood pact and not because they're in love. No. Side tangent here. I understand that he wouldn't tell the Aurors that he can't move against Grindelwald because they're in love.
You know, he can't be like, oh, I can't move against Grindelwald because we like to do butt stuff together. Can't do that, especially in the time period. But later, in the mirror, they definitely could have had them kiss, but they didn't. I mean, I know the actors were kind of putting it in. The actors were definitely giving off the I can't move against him because I'm in love with him vibe. Nigel is rubbing his head against my boob. Don't know why. He's like, Mommy is upset. I will comfort her with my tail in her face. Queer erasure all around by J.K. Rowling, but what are we going to do about that? Anyway, back to how to fix this movie by making it a Fantastic Beasts movie. So, Dumbledore is like, Newt, you have to go. Because you're good at something? What? I don't know. But what if we made it, Dumbledore comes to Newt and he's like, Newt, you have to go because you're the only one who knows how to use these Fantastic Beasts to track somebody. Nobody else does this. And this comes back to like what I wish was the point of the movie, because later at the very end, Newt, you know, he's got the Niffler and all that stuff, and he's like, and they're like, oh, how did you get it? How did you win? And he's like, well, Grindelwald underestimates the smallest ones, and he underestimates like the lesser ones, things he thinks are lesser. And wouldn't it be great if they needed Newt because he's the only one who uses Fantastic Beasts, and the theme is that Grindelwald doesn't value things that he thinks are beneath him, and he thinks that the animals are beneath him, so that's why they need Newt, one of the reasons. And also because Newt's creatures allow him to do things that normal wizards can't do, which would also solve a lot of the problems that people are having of like, you know, he does that thing with the gold dust and he can just like see everything and it looks really cool and all. And you know, he uses a Niffler to track, but that's kind of tangential. Like you could probably do that without a Niffler, was what I'm saying. And a lot of people are like, well, if they had this magic, why weren't they using it against Voldemort, you know? So, like, what if, to have that kind of magic, to have that thing, like, what if it's, like, the pollen of a pygmy flower snake or something, and nobody knows about it, nobody knows to harvest it, except Newt, who loves this super dangerous snake, and takes care of it, and so has this golden pollen that he can use. Like, that would be a really good reason to have Newt be the star of the movie and have Dumbledore be like, I need you because you have all of these things that normal wizards don't have, because normal wizards underestimate these animals and don't value these animals like you do, and so that's why I need you. That would make a whole lot more sense, and then that theme would be a lot stronger of Grindelwald not valuing those he sees as lesser. And then we could also have maybe Kowalski do a bit more, Jacob do a bit more. He would also be part of that theme that he is a muggle and so he's less than to Grindelwald, but maybe he does something integral to helping defeat him. Like maybe he finds something out, like he could maybe overhear something because Grindelwald thinks that he's just a stupid muggle who doesn't understand anything. And, you know, surprise, Jacob does, because he's, you know, in the wizarding world and muggles can be useful. There's like so many things that could have been done to save this movie, and that's my take on what I would have done to save this movie. I think those are all my thoughts for the moment. There were lots of problems with this movie. So many problems, but you guys are probably pretty familiar with them, so I just wanted to give you like my personal individual take. And if you feel the need to go down there and like complain because, well, he wasn't supposed to be asexual, so I don't know why you're bitching that he's not, you can be joyful in the fact that you are probably not a hugely underrepresented sexuality. So anyway, that's enough rambling for me. I hope that this video was okay. I'm gonna see how it looks with the brand new light. And of course, if you want me to get even more better equipment, you can support me on Patreon, where all the donations help me make all of this better for you. Plus, you get so much exclusive content on Patreon. The patrons right now have videos that you guys have never seen. They have content that you've never seen. It might come out on my channel later, it might not, but if you want to make sure that you see it, you can become a patron at any level and see all kinds of cool content. Well, okay, cool. I say cool. It's alright. And of course, I do make new videos right here for you, Mondays and Fridays. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking. And of course, if you liked what you saw here, I have tons and tons of content on my channel, all of it without this new light, but we'll get there. And so feel free to wander at your leisure. And I will see you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!
Hey everyone, it is shout out time. Time to shout out to my patrons Amanda, Ashley, Kim, Lisa, Ramona, Sabby Panda, and Sarah. If you want to be great like these amazing people, then become my patron over on Patreon.